Grr, arg.
Welcome, everyone, to the Season 8 finale of the Mixtape Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Dean Stark, and I'm joined by my co-host, Marcel Nostroza. And if you stuck with us through the whole season and through our previous 7 seasons, thank you so much. If you want to subscribe, you can. If you want to like our videos, you can. If you want to share our videos, you could do that too. Up this week, we have one of Marcelo and I's favorite movies of all time. We are doing Robin Hood Men in Tights, released in 1993, directed by the one and only Mel Brooks, written by Mel Brooks, Evan Chandler, and J.D. Shapiro. And if you don't know what this movie is about, literally on IMDb, it has this. It's a spoof of Robin Hood. That's what it has, because that's what it is. If you don't know the Robin Hood story, then you should, because that's what it is. The opening scene, in true kind of Mel Brooks style. Well, okay, there's one scene and then there's an opening scene. There's a scene where there's like a long ass credit scene on like villagers kind of breaking the fourth wall and talking to the camera, which I'm kind of going to skip over because that has really nothing to do with anything. That's just a funny thing that Mel Brooks put in. But the true opening scene, it opens with like a rap musical ballet song giving exposition, but in a fun way. It's talking about how Prince John and the sheriff are raising taxes and the people are unhappy, but Robin Hood has been imprisoned in Jerusalem. I like this little shingle, this little rap thing, because it's like only Mel Brooks can do this and get away with it, where you go, yeah, cool, that's a really good way of doing exposition. Any other filmmaker, you'd be like, this is shit. But it's a really good opening. You know exactly the tone of the movie. You know exactly what you get to get into. It's not going to be too deep. It's just going to be kind of surface level, silly, goofy, muck around, fun. So what did you think about the opening exposition of the kind of rap song?
Only Mel Brooks can do that. I guarantee you guys, if this movie came out today, this movie wouldn't even get past the studio, because this movie has so many things that are what the audience today would consider politically or not politically correct. And the fact that this movie has a bunch of that shit is amazing. By the way, when I was a kid, guys, I could sing this opening rap line for line, but now, since my brain is fucking mush, I couldn't do it. It's just really sad.
It's really sad. Yeah, it is. And yeah, you're right. None of Mel Brooks's movies would be made today. There's like, yeah, no way. That's why I like him. It was when everyone was free and not so uptight. I liked it. Anyway, this movie is really, I'm not a comedy person. This movie's hilarious to me just because it's goofy fun. I didn't write in every single funny thing. Otherwise, we would be here for 5 hours.
Yeah, we would.
I mean, honestly, like I wrote down kind of the funniest things, but the whole movie is funny from start to finish. So we meet Robin. He's thrown into a prison and meets a sneeze, father of Achu, right? And they escape the prison and free the other prisoners. And a sneeze tells Robin, can you find my son Achu? He's in England. And can you please look after him? Robin literally runs into the ocean and starts swimming. And then Mel Brooks has this thing like he's swum all the way from Jerusalem to England because he's Robin Hood and he fucking can't. And yeah, that's it. that's just like, yeah. I mean, I've condensed it. Like I said, it's a funny opening scene, but I can't put in everything that was funny. So thoughts?
The prison scene is so fucking funny. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so fucking funny. But to move to Dean's point, the way that Robin gets from Jerusalem to England is the funniest shit ever, because he just fucking swims. And like, what? Like, how? Why? And look, before he jumps into the ocean, Achu says, listen, I just met you 5 minutes ago, but I want you to find my son, and he's in your country. And he just gives him a picture of Achu, and he expects him to find him. And I'm like, what? How is that gonna work? But you know what? Because we're in a Mel Brooks movie, it's gonna work, and it's gonna be funny as fuck when we get there. I fucking loved it. My favorite moment is when he gets to England and he goes, England! And there's a big massive sign like the Hollywood sign, but instead of the Hollywood sign, it says England. And he starts kissing the ground. And he goes, I will give up my kingdom for a horse. It's just, It's just so funny. It's just so funny.
So Robin ends up finding a Chew pretty quickly. But he finds him
Conveniently,
so conveniently, if you will. And he's getting beaten up by the Kingsguard, and Robin saves him. And he gets a bow and arrow out, but the arrow is like 5 arrows in one. And he shoots them at this one lonely guard at once. And it pins the guard to the tree. So when he shoots the 5 arrows in one, it actually like disperses out. And so we kind of learn he's a good shot. Or the arrows have a life of their own. I don't know. But anyway, that was just the introduction of him rescuing a Chew, and yeah, thoughts.
I love the introduction to Achu because Achu is played by Dave Chappelle. And although, guys, I'm not a funny guy, but Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians. And when he's getting the shit kicked out of him, Robin gets off of his horse and he says, Achu. And the guards who are beating up Achu say, bless you. And as Robin tries to convene and help Achu, he goes, stop, guys. And they all stop beating the shit out of him. And he goes, I got to pump up. And he actually pumps up his 90s sneakers.
His Jordans,
I
yeah.
love that. His Jordans, right? No, are they Jordans or are they some other shoes?
I think they're Air Jordans. I don't know. Don't quote me. Now I'm second guessing myself. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I think so. I don't know. I thought they were.
But it's so
Or maybe they're
funny.
Reebok.
And look,
Fuck.
yeah.
It's gonna kill me.
And look. So it's just a really, really, really funny scene.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's Reebok. Sorry, I was wrong. It's Reebok. Not that anybody cares. I cared. It's gonna kill me if I didn't know.
No, I care.
Oh, okay. So there's two people that care.
You're not alone in this. Oh, before we move on, can I just mention one thing? Does Robin Hood ever tell Achu that he was basically sent by his father a sneeze?
No. I didn't even think of that. No, he doesn't.
That's the funniest thing. He becomes friends with this guy just because this guy saved him from a bunch of muggers.
So now Robin and Achu arrive at Locksley Castle and find the castle like being towed away. Literally, like it's on wheels and it's being towed away for failure to pay taxes because Robin's been away. And Robin sees once the castle's being towed away, he sees his friend Blinken, who's on the toilet, and he's blind, so he doesn't know that the castle's being taken away. And he's reading a Playboy in Braille because he's blind, which is fucking genius. Mel Brooks is a genius. I've never seen this. Anyway, he doesn't know the castle's being taken away. And Robin goes, Blinken, where's my family? And Blinken says, oh, they all died. And he's like, my mom, dead. My dad, dead. My dog Pongo ran over by a carriage. My goldfish Goldie, eaten by the cat. My cat choked on the goldfish. Welcome home. And Robin's like, fuck. It's like, this is Mel Brooks' way of saying, oh, we've taken literally everything, including your house, away from you. What are you going to do about it? It was so fucking funny. And then Blinken takes out a locket with a key inside and he says, your father wanted me to give this to you. He says it's the key to the greatest treasure in all the land. That's that scene.
Who is your favorite character in this movie?
Maid Marian.
Oh, good choice.
The way that Amy Yazbek plays Maid Marian cracks me the fuck up. She is a comedic genius. She's in one of my other favorite Mel Brooks movies, Dracula Dead and Loving It. But in this movie is Maid Marian, her accent, her facial expressions, which we're going to get into. So
good.
Nobody could have done it better. She's my favorite.
My favorite character in this movie is the Sheriff of Rottingham. Can you guess why? You look.
Oh, the Sheriff of Rottingham is the best. He's such an idiot. Oh God, I love him. Yes, Maid Marian, the Sheriff of Rottingham. Oh my God, he's just such a fucking drop kick. And that's Australian term for moron. Oh my God. I love you. Yes.
I'm sorry, I gotta take a breath. Oh.
Yes. He's so funny.
The introduction to Blinken was absolutely fantastic. I echo all of Dean's sentiments. The fact that Blinken is introduced on the toilet while reading a Braille copy of Playboy, excellent. But my favorite thing about the whole scene is the moment that Dean sort of tried to narrate there for you all.
Mm.
When Blinken goes over everything that Robin has lost, Mel Brooks and his co-writers did such a great job of giving the character of Robin basically nothing, taking everything away from him to say to the audience, this guy's really fucked. He's got nothing.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So listen, this is a comedy movie and we are laughing our asses off.
Mm.
But writing comedy, guys, is really hard. It is I think comedy writers are geniuses because it's so hard to make people laugh. And the way that
Mm.
Mel Brooks and his other co-writers constructed this story is just genius. I mean, it's unbelievable how they did it.
Yeah, I think comedy's the hardest genre to write in because
It is.
funny is subjective. That's the problem.
Thank you. That was it. That was it. Funny is subjective. That's the problem. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
what I was looking for.
So Robin and Chew and Blinken, they're walking to the forest when a bunch of the King's guards show up, led by the Sheriff of Rottingham, who is an absolute idiot. And he's like, this is, the King's land. You shouldn't be here. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then he tries to get his sword out, and his sword is broken. He's like, oh, shit. And then Robin gets his sword out and like cuts the side of the saddle and
The saddle off.
yeah, and then Sheriff of Rottingham kind of hangs down on the horse, and he goes, "If I wasn't angry at you, I'm really pissed at you. I'll pay for this. I mean, you'll pay for this." And then he says, "Guards, kill him." And then Robin puts a sword to his throat, and he goes, "Wait a minute, I've changed my mind." It's just like. And then Robin hits the back of his horse and then they fucking ride off. But it's such a funny introduction to the Sheriff of Rottingham. And right off the bat, like, this is a comedy movie, but it takes skill. Because what Mel Brooks has done is he's basically shown this is the Sheriff of Rottingham and he's an absolute fucking moron. That's it. That's all it showed. He's an absolute moron. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have half a brain, but he doesn't make him unlikable because you still like him. You just because he's so stupid. He's trying to do a job, but he just can't do it. It's so fucking funny. Anyway,
no, you love him. You love him because he's so fucking stupid.
Yes.
The reason why I love the Sheriff of the Sheriff of Nottingham is because he says everything backwards.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful introduction. And then when the Sheriff of Nottingham's horse goes, starts to move away from Robin and at you and Blinken and the boy that Robin was protecting, he says, "Mind the big rocks." And also the guards that are with the sheriff don't have tubas. So they're making the sound of tubas with their fists. It's so stupid.
It sounds so
Yeah,
stupid.
it's just so dumb.
And you're like, oh my God, these guys are idiots. Like straight away. It just sounds like a sideshow. Like, oh my God. That's so stupid.
and then press John. I'm sorry. Oh God. Oh.
So now we meet Maid Marian and she sings, she's in the bathtub and she sings about finding the true love. She sings, "Where is the man who has the key?" Well, we know that Robin has a key. So it's like, okay, that links up. And she stands to get out of the bath and she's wearing a chastity belt with a massive lock and a keyhole on the side of it. And then she makes a wish that a man would come along with the key to her. And then she looks down and then she says, "Heart." But the whole movie, it's so funny because she's supposed to be this, virginal, which she is, obviously Maid Marian, but she's supposed to be this kind of upstanding, I'm going to wait till marriage and stuff. But all she wants to do And there's such an undertone to this. The whole movie, all she wants to do is get the chastity belt off and have sex. That's literally all she wants to do the whole fucking movie. She doesn't care. She's like, I just want it off. That's it. Which I thought was a really funny take on it. Thoughts?
Maid Marian is one of my favorite characters in this film because she's just so great. I mean, when I was a kid, she just looked so beautiful, and the fact that Mel Brooks and and his co-writers made that connection that Robin has a key and Maid Marian has a chastity belt around her hoo-ha. It's like the funniest thing ever. It's the funniest thing ever. But listen, it was a really, really, really funny scene. It was just unbelievably funny.
So now we meet Prince John, and there's a running joke through the whole movie that he has this mole on his face. But every single scene he's in, the mole changes position, which is just really funny. And the funniest bit is when it's actually acknowledged, which we're going to come up to later, which is one of the funniest fucking lines of dialogue in the movie. So the sheriff of Nottingham comes in and he says, I have bad news for you. And the prince says, no, I don't like bad news. I don't want to hear bad news. Maybe if you tell me the bad news in a good way, it won't sound so bad. And so he says,
Wait till you hear this. I just bumped into Robin of Locksley. He's back from the Crusades. He just beat the crap out of me and my men. He hates you and he loves your brother, Richard. He wants to see you hanged. We're in an awful lot of trouble.
What, are you crazy? Why are you laughing? This is terrible news.
and Prince John says, to rectify the situation, he's going to talk to Latrine in the tower for advice. And then we meet Latrine, who is basically an old witch / cook. And she says, Prince John explains the problem. And she explains to him she could make a potion to stop Robin. And in return, she wants Prince John to put in a good word for her with the Sheriff of Rottingham because she's got the hots for him. She even has a cardboard cutout of him in her lair. And Prince John is just like, oh my God. And this woman is ugly as fuck because she's done up to be like a witch. So she's very unattractive, but it's just so funny.
I kind of like this of him in my bourgeois.
That fucking cardboard cutout, so funny.
Oh my God. Okay.
So Robin, Achu, and Blinken meet Little John in Sherwood Forest, and he's standing on like this really small bridge covering a small stream of water that is easily walked over. You could just literally hop over it. But Little John says he needs a toll, otherwise you can't pass. And Achu basically shows Robin, you can just walk to the other side. You don't have to like fight anybody. And Robin's like, that's not the point. It's the principle of the thing. It's just like, you idiot.
It's the principle of the thing.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm on the East Bank. I'm on the West Bank. I'm on the North side. I'm on the South side. It's not that.
Oh, so
Oh
funny.
my God.
Robin ends up winning and Little John falls in the literally inch of water. And then he's like, I can't swim. And Robin pulls him up. And this makes them friends with John and his merry men. That's it.
Throughout this podcast, I'm going to have to figure out something else to say except genius and great. Because Little John's introduction is so good. Because you see this hulking, towering guy and you think, oh shit, Robin's about to get his ass handed to him. But as the scene goes on, you discover that Little John is just a fucking teddy bear. And that is sort of brought home when Little John falls into an inch of water. This movie is written so well. And here's the thing. The jokes, no jokes in this movie fall flat. None of them. Every joke in this movie flows into the next one. It's so well crafted. As a kid, I always enjoyed Mel Brooks's movies. As a kid, I always liked to laugh. I always liked to laugh, but I really didn't get an understanding of the genius that Mel Brooks is as a creative individual until I got older.
So Prince John is having a ball. Maid Marian is there, and the Sheriff of Rottingham is there. Robin enters and tells the prince if he doesn't lower the taxes, he shall lead the people in a revolt against them. And the sheriff challenges Robin to a duel, and he says, "Just you and me, just the two of us, mano a mano, just Sheriff of Rottingham and Robin, just me." And then he turns around and he goes, "My gods!" and then he like runs off like a little girl, and he gets guards, come here. Robin fights them off. He does the typical kind of old school Robin television show swashbuckling like fight scene. It's really cool. It's kind of, yeah, it goes back to the old Robin Hood. And then and he beats him, and then Robin has a moment with Maid Marian, and it's basically love at first sight. And yeah, that's the scene. It was funny.
I love this scene. There are so many cool moments and cool lines, but the line that gets me the most is when the Sheriff of Rottingham offers Maid Marian a date, and she goes, and he goes, "How about a date?" And she goes, "Oh, thank you." And he goes, "How about next Thursday?" And he just fucking laughs in her fucking face,
and her face is just like, "Oh, fuck off."
I love it when he comes over the table and he goes, "I challenge you to a duel," and this is the Sheriff of Rottingham, and he takes out his glove and he smacks him across the face, and Robin picks up a steel glove from the table, and he just goes, "I accept," and he whacks him across the head. It's just such a funny scene. And also when the fighting starts, Prince John goes, "Check, table 1, please." like are you kidding me? It's such a good scene. Such a good scene.
I like this scene. Robin recruits the townspeople, and there's this whole montage of him training them up and getting them dressed, and you know they're doing archery and stuff like that. But by the end of it, they're still crap and they can't do shit, right? Because in movies, when they recruit townspeople, they train them up and they're trained like they're like fighters now. But what Mel Brooks has done is he's done a parody of that and gone, you can't just train townspeople in 3 days and they're great. He's like, no, they're still going to be shit. And the whole time, they're all, to the end of the movie, they're still shit. Like, no amount of training can make them good because they're not trained properly. So I thought that was quite funny. Meanwhile, the Sheriff of Rottingham tells Prince John, he sees him, the sheriff sees him in a bathtub, and he leans down to him and he said,
Stop me if I'm wrong about this, but wasn't your mole on the other side?
I have a mole?
and it's just like,
How the fuck does he not know that they have mirrors everywhere?
it's so funny. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite lines of dialogue. And then the sheriff goes outside, takes him outside, and he shows him the new catapult. And Prince John pulls the lever of the catapult, and the sheriff is sitting in it, so he catapults the sheriff into Latrine's bedroom, and she's in the middle of praying for Prince Rottingham to love her, and then he crashes through the her roof onto her bed, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And then she jumps him. She basically tries to seduce him. She's trying to tear his clothes off. He jumps off and he starts saying, I have a headache, I can't do this, I have a headache."
And she turns to the camera and says, and she goes, "I was that close, I touched it."
I touched it. It's just so funny how he turned into the woman. He's like, I have a headache, I can't do it. It's so funny. It's so funny.
He fucking goes running off. Oh my god!
Like, he couldn't be more disgusted.
It's just so great. Oh my god. Those scenes are just genius. Oh my god.
So the sheriff enlists the help of the mob to get Robin. Now the mob boss says to him, at the games, because they're putting on a game thing, like jousting and stuff. You're going to make the archery contest the most important event of the day, and Robin will not be able to resist. And when Robin shows up, they'll be able to take him out. And Maid Marian overhears this and wants to warn Robin. So that's kind of the setup of the next scene. Thoughts?
I love that the guy that the sheriff and Prince John get is from New Jersey, and the whole scene parodies The Godfather from the way that the guy talks from his two servants. Like he introduces the archer that Robin will be competing against in the archery contest, and the guy stands up and he gives the speech that they have in The Godfather, and I'm like, oh my god, really? it's just so good. He goes into it. He goes, thank you for inviting us to your wedding. I hope that your first child is a masculine child. Oh, it's so fucking great. and then there's a point where the sheriff goes to the mob office. He goes, I can't understand a fucking word that you're saying. And he goes, oh, I just had a dental appointment today and they put cotton balls in my mouth.
But then he takes the cotton balls out and he's talking exactly the same.
Right, that's the kick, right?
I know. Yeah.
The jokes in this scene are really kind of childish and not too highbrow like some of the other ones have been.
Yes.
But it still works.
Yeah, it does. So we go back to Robin with his merry men. Little John comes out of the porter privy, which is a portaloo, but they call it a porter privy, right? And he's pulling up his tights and he says, oh my God, these are hard to get on. And as a girl that wears tights, their tights are really difficult. Once you get them on, they're fantastic, but they're really hard to get on, especially if they're really tight. And he says, he goes, let's face it, you've got to be a man to wear tights. And then it goes into like the best song in any Mel Brooks movie, Men in Tights. They're singing about their men, they wear tights, but they're still manly. Don't discard them because they're wearing tights. They're still manly men. They're still rough as guts. Just blot out the tights. It's lovely. I love it.
We're men in tights. Oh, so good. Sorry. You thought I was going to start singing there, guys. I
wanted to put the song into this, but YouTube was going to flag us. So I can't put it.
No, are you sure?
Yeah, they'll probably flag us for copyright because that's what YouTube does.
This sequence, as a song and dance man, Dean, come on. You know that I must have loved it, right?
I loved it. And I hate musicals.
Like the best thing about this whole sequence is seeing how the other merry men handle Blinken because he's blind, and there are several instances in the sequence where Blinken is looking the wrong way, and there's one sequence where they punch the air, but because Blinken is blind, he punches Will Scarlet in the face.
Yeah,
it is just so genius. Listen, guys, listen. I wish we could talk about this movie in depth as a screenplay writer, but we just can't because we love it so much. We just can't do it.
Yeah, no, we love it so much. But it's good. The thing is, it's great directing and it's great screenwriting. For a spoof movie, that's a comedy, I think.
Yeah, but also, this was back when spoof movies were actually good.
So Marian finds Robin and she warns him of the sheriff's plan to kill him at the games. And Robin says, well, okay, I won't go. And she's like, oh, I'm so happy. And then she mentions the archery contest and he's got this look on his face. His ego will not let him resist. He's just like,
An archery contest?
He's like, oh, he just fucking can't resist. Anyway, now there's another song which I actually also like. It's called The Night is Young and You're So Beautiful. And Robin sings it to Maid Marian. And he sings to her behind like a backlit curtain so everyone can see their shadows. And the men kind of watch on and eat popcorn as if it's like a movie. And it's so funny because the song, it's a real song, But the way that he sings it to her, Amy Yazbek's facial expressions are priceless because she's looking at him like, oh, this is so sweet. But then it's like, oh, this is kind of weird. But oh, no, it's really sweet. But like, oh, shit, this is actually really weird. Like, she's just like, get me the fuck out of here. Oh, no, but I really like him. Oh, no, but this is weird. Like, and then there's one part where he says something and then
His
like
sword.
the wind blows and it almost blows a crown off and she's trying to hold it on. She's just like, what the fuck is
But
going
his
on?
sword.
Yeah.
His sword.
And then at the end he's got this big note, and on the other side of the curtain with the men's watching, he presses down on his sword and it looks like he's just got this like massive boner. Oh, it's just so funny. It's just in shadow, but it's funny. And then this is the funniest bit to me. After they go to kiss and he goes in and you hear this like bang, right? And he's banged up against her chastity belt. He's like, what the hell is that? And she says, oh, she wears a chastity belt and someone has the key. And then this is so funny. She goes, if only it were me. Oh, if it were, you would, it would be twerific. Like, twerific is not a word, but it's just Mel Brooks. Just, it would be twerific. It's just so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Oh my god! Holy crap! Oh, I'm putting red, guys. I can't stop laughing. Oh my god. That entire sequence is so great, but I actually love the little sequence before that when Maid Marian discovers the plot against Robin Hood, the plot that the Sheriff of Nottingham have, and the plot that Prince John have, and she actually gets on her horse by jumping off the balcony. And I love it when Brunhilde jumps off. When she jumps off, her horse backs up and she hits the ground. But when she gets back up, the ground is actually impacted from the force of her hitting the ground. It's like the funniest shit ever. And when they actually get to Robin's lair, Little John tries to help Broomhilda off the horse. And Broomhilda obviously likes Little John. She's attracted to Little John. But she goes, is there anything I can do for you? Anything at all? And then Little John's like, get off me. It's just so good. Oh, and also there's this little bit with Blinken. He's standing on top of the watchtower listening for enemies. And he goes, and then Robin shows up and sees Blinken up there on the watchtower and he goes, Blinken, what are you doing? And then Blinken goes, oh, well, I guess no one's coming. And then Robin Hood says, get the fuck down from there. And as Blinken tries to get down from the watchtower, he sort of like pushes the ladder off. He sort of pushes the ladder off of his perch to get down from the tower, and he goes out to reach the ladder, but he realizes that the ladder's not there. He falls to the ground, and then when he gets back up, he's like, I can see, what a lovely day, and then he impacts with a fucking tree. I swear to God, that's my favorite sequence of the whole movie. When he gets up from the ground, he goes, I can see, and he turns around and he impacts with a fucking tree, and he goes, oh, I guess not. But listen, that whole sequence is gold. I love the number You're So Beautiful. I love the reactions that the actress who plays Marian does. Her reactions are so great. I love the part with the sword. I love the part with the men sort of watching the movie. It's all wonderful, 100% gold stuff.
So now we're at the annual spring fair, and Little John, Blinken, and Achu are dressed in drag because somehow they think they're passable as women, but they're not. They've all got facial hair.
They're not.
They're so not, but it's funny. So the archery contest begins. Robin is dressed as an old man because he can't go as himself, but is soon uncovered when he hits the bull's eye. The sheriff's guy shoots at the target and splits Robin's arrow in half down the center. Robin can't believe he lost. He's like, oh my God, I lost. Oh my God, I lost. And then he reaches around and grabs the shooting script for Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh my
And he
God.
goes through it and he turns to the page and he goes, oh, I get another shot. And then Prince John and the sheriff get the script out and they turn to the page and they're like, oh, he does. So it's like they're breaking the fourth wall. So it's like what they did in like Spaceballs when they're watching the video. It's like, no, rewind to the part where we did this. It's like, wait a minute, didn't we do that? No, we did that in the past. This is already recorded. Like, it's the same thing, but it's different. And Mel Brooks just does it fucking so well. So anyway, he gets another shot. The sheriff has an assassin up in the tower and they take a shot at Robin. While he's kind of taking the shot, Blinken catches it. Robin has to, what is it? Oh, Robin has to get a bullseye. And and he gets it. He gets the bullseye. He kind of obliterates the target. The sheriff of Rottingham calls for Robin's arrest. Marion says to the sheriff of Rottingham,
Wait!
What for?
If you promise not to kill Robin, I shall do the most disgusting thing that I can think of.
Oh, and what's that?
I shall marry you.
What? You'll be mine. You'll give yourself to me every night. And sometimes right after lunch.
Yes, but only my body. You can never have my heart, my mind, or my soul.
Oh, yes, I respect that.
she's just like, huh?
No, but the best part is the look that she gives him after he says that.
That's what I mean. The look. She's like, what?
Yeah, the look.
She doesn't realize the sheriff of Rottingham just wants to have sex with her. That's literally his endgame. He doesn't care about nothing else. That's such a funny
but also what Robin says, right? He goes, Marion, don't do it. I'm not worth it. Just say nay, right?
Mm.
And then the sheriff goes, the sheriff of Rottingham goes, ha! And then he goes, walk this way. And he starts walking with his chest puffed out.
Yeah, like a peacock.
Yeah. And then Robin and then the guards start walking like that. That's the funniest fucking thing. Oh my God. That entire sequence at the fair is so fucking mint. This movie is so joyous. And I love that about the film.
It's for everybody. You can be any age and find it funny. That's what I like about Mel Brooks's movies. It's not for a certain generation. It's for, you can watch it when you're 5 years old or you can watch it when you're 50 years old. You'll still find it funny. That's what I like about it. It's timeless. So Robin is on the gallows, watching on as the sheriff and Marion go to get married.
Oh, by the way, can I just point out the hangman, right? That hangman and that character has been in another Mel Brooks movie. Can you name what movie?
Yeah, Blazing Saddles. He was the hangman in the Blazing Saddles. Sorry,
Aw,
Papa.
man.
Sorry.
Boo.
Sorry. I don't know which movie. So the sheriff and Marion to get married. Now, the sheriff has put Robin in the gallows just in case Maid Marian wants to back out at the last minute, right? So Marian sees him there. It's like, if you back out, he's going to be hanged. Right before Maid Marian says yes, the merry men come in and rescue Robin from the gallows, but the sheriff is so pissed off, he's like, nope. Grabs Maid Marian, throws her over her shoulder and takes her to the tower. He throws her on the bed. He's so excited to ravish her. Oh my God, this is everything he's ever wanted, right? Everything he's ever wanted. And when he discovers her chastity belt, it's just, oh my God, it's the most disappointing look. He's just like, no. No.
He's like, that's going to shave my willy out. Oh my God.
And then he gets a jackhammer and he's trying to get it off. He's so desperate to get this off, to have sex with her. That's all he wants to do, the whole fucking movie, is just have sex with Maid Marian. That's it. He will do it. He's so desperate. It's so funny. And then Robin comes in and they have this sword fight and the sheriff grabs a knife and he pulls out the locket and it flies across the room, the locket around Robin Hood's neck. He throws it across the room, revealing the key, and the key slots right into the keyhole of Maid Marian's chastity belt. And Maid Marian says, "Oh, Robin, you're my one true love," and because it's just the right size. And then Robin accidentally, because Robin's a good guy, right? Robin accidentally stabs the sheriff. When latrine comes in offering him a pill, to save his life, but in return, he must marry her. And he agrees, takes the pill, but then immediately regrets it. And then she just drags him out.
I've always wanted to marry a cop. Oh my God! Look, when they're actually in the ceremony, we find out that the sheriff's first name is Marvin. Your name is Marvin.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then he goes, "Shut up!" It's just so funny. But the point when the married men show up after, and all hell breaks loose, and the chef goes, "I shall have you married," and he takes her up to the tower and he does the jackhammer part. I was just I was in stitches at that point. I couldn't breathe. I had to stop the movie. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. So after that, after Robin wins, Robin and Marion go back outside and they quickly get married. When King Richard returns, or Picard, whoever you want to say is,
Woo
woo! And he tells Prince John, for his indiscretions, from now on, all toilets will be in the land will be called John's. And he's like, no.
Put him in a tower. Make him a part of the tour.
Yes. He's like, no, he's getting dragged away. Oh my God, that's so funny. And then Robin Hood appoints Achu as the new sheriff. And everyone says, a black sheriff? And then Blinken goes, he's black? Blinken's blind. He doesn't know, right? And then Dave Chappelle, Achu, looks at the camera and goes, why not? It worked in Blazing Saddles. He's not wrong.
My God.
He's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Yeah.
But also, my favorite thing about that movie is that I love that Mel Brooks and his writers. Basically, Mel Brooks just parodied himself, and I'm like, come on. That is the act of a writer or a group of writers who have so much confidence. Like, without confidence as a writer, you cannot write this comedy gold, or you cannot write drama for that matter. But it's just so fucking great. Like, I get really excited when we talk about movies like this, but I kind of feel sad because movies like this that are so good, sometimes you don't want to take them apart. And sometimes they're so expertly written and so expertly tied together that you can't do it.
There's nothing to take apart in this movie. It's so good, though. Like, it's hard to take apart a spoof movie because it's not really supposed to make sense. So the final scene is Robin and Marion. They get to the tower. They're all lovey-dovey. He lays her in the bed all delicately. He gets the key out. And she's like, just do it. Just unlock it. Right. And then Robin puts the key in. And it's like, it cuts, Mel Brooks cuts away. So now you don't see them. You see like the camera like going away from the castle. Now you just hear like the voiceover, them talking in the bedroom. And he turns the key and he's like, darling, it won't turn. She's like, what? And it's the wrong key. It won't open the belt. And she's like, call a locksmith. And that's it. That's the end. And I'm like, oh my God, this whole time you think Robin's, it was a really nice twist that Mel Brooks put in there, because they're like, oh, finally they're together. And it's like, what do you mean? Wait, the wrong key? It's so fun. It's just funny. I love it.
This final sequence is absolutely fantastic, and the fact that you don't see the moment when the chassis belt opens, and that it's just perfect for Mel Brooks to go outside of the castle and just to show a bird's eye view of the castle, and just to hear the voiceover and to hear, darling, it won't open, and then you hear, call the locksmith.
My first trivia on this is when Mel Brooks called Carrie Ells, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, to offer him the role of Robin Hood.
Carrie Elways.
Right, sorry. He thought it was a prank and hung up on him.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine Steven Spielberg calling you going, hey, I want one of your scripts. You'd be like, yeah. That's the same shit.
Right? I'm not.
It's the same shit.
Guys, you think Dean is doing a joke? No. If somebody from Emblem calls me and says, hey, Steven wants to have a meeting with you, I'll be fine. I'll hang up.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same shit. Exactly.
That won't happen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Hulk Hogan was offered the role of Little John. That would have been funny.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that.
My last trivia is Amy Yazbek, who I love in this movie, as you all know, found wearing the chastity belt really uncomfortable because the metal belt needed to be repeatedly tightened to fit to her body. So it was really not a fun experience for her to wear the belt. But she only had to wear it in scenes where you saw it, which was only a few scenes, but she just said it was really uncomfortable. All right, guys, that's it. That's the end of our season 8 finale. If you want to email us, you can email us at themixtapepod@aol.com. Coming up next week is nothing because this is the season 8 finale, but we are coming back for a season 9. And if you miss us, you can go back 7 seasons and listen to this. I don't know how many videos have been released, 70 plus movies that we review. We try to review most genres. We will try in the future to do every genre to cater to everybody, but we do most genres. What?
There's one genre that we haven't done yet so far, or not enough. Musicals.
Well, we've done Wizard of Oz and we've done Mary Poppins. I was more saying like westerns. We haven't really done a western. Or maybe Blazing Saddles we've done. Maybe that's could be a western.
Oh, that counts. That counts.
Okay, that counts. Okay, so we've done pretty much everything.
That counts.
Yeah,
that counts. Yeah, pretty much everything. But here's a question for you and our audience members. What is the genre that we've covered the most? What do you think the genre that we covered the most is?
I don't know. I would think it would be horror.
Yeah, that'll be my thought too.
Or drama. We've done a lot of drama.
Yeah. But you know what? I still think it's horror over genre.
Yeah, I think it's horror too. Yeah, because there's just so many good horrors. And so many bad ones. So many bad ones. But anyway, thank you for sticking with us for our season, and we hope to see you next season. Next season, we've got a lot of good movies, a lot of good mix. We're not going to tell you what that is. We're going to keep it a secret. But as I say, and as my co-host says every single week, if someone is kind enough to make you a mixtape, that must mean that they really love you. The Mixtape Podcast is a Balloonhead Productions presentation.